Hi everyone, this is Unit 4, Question 11, and it's similar to both the first question and the one previous, number 10. So essentially in this one we need to calculate what the correlation coefficient is to 3 decimal places, so right over here, and then we need to calculate what r squared is. And r squared is simply, as we did in the last question, multiplying r by itself. But I wanted to kind of show you we could do this all with Minitab or with a free online calculator. So you could advance if you wish to see the calculator steps online, or you could watch the Minitab steps and then just end the video. It's up to you. Okay, so let's first start with highlighting the data as we have been. I'm just going to hold down the left mouse button. I clicked right before the X and then drag down. And I'm going to do copy. And I'm going to paste this into Minitab. So right behind here is Minitab, and I'm going to make sure I'm in this first cell, and I'm going to click Paste, which is the clipboard, or do Control V from the keyboard. Okay. Once I have the values in here, the first steps then is I need to get this correlation coefficient. So over here on the left, I need to do step 2. So let's do that. Basic stats, correlation. And you can see from a previous example I have X and Y typed in, but I could just double click X, double click Y, it doesn't matter the order, because the correlation between two values is always the same correlation regardless of which one's X and Y. That's not true for the best fit line, but that is true for the correlation. Alright, so I'm going to click OK. And if I scroll down a little bit, I see R is 0.990. So whoops, wrong box. Let me go back here. So in this box here, I'm going to put in 0.990. Let me make sure that was a positive number, because sometimes you just forget to see the positive. Yep, it's positive, and the graph was positive. Well, I should have just looked at that. All right, to get to the next value then, and I wanted 3 decimal places for this. The next one only requires 1 decimal place after you multiply by 100. So I could just multiply my value here, 0.990, times itself and multiply by 100. But I can also do another step. I could do this fitted line plot to give me r squared. So I can do this. I can go to Stat, Regression, Fitted Line Plot. Okay, so if I click on that, again, make sure the y's and the x's correlate here just because of the equation. It technically doesn't matter for r squared. Then click OK. And let's see what I get. So r squared is right here. You can also scroll down into the graph, and let's see, r squared is listed over here on the right hand side. So let's see what we have. Oh, but we got to be careful. Do you see how this one is 98.0? Ooh. And this one is 98.05. Well, that tells me the rounding, I shouldn't round this to 98.1, because this must have been like a 4 that got rounded up to a 5 with the, what a rounding fiasco. At any rate, we're going to use this number right here, 98.0. So let me go back to the thing here and type in 98.0. And those would be the 2 answers. I don't have to use the percent sign since it's included in the question. Okay, so at this point I'm going to transition over to the free website and do the same thing. Alright, so I'm up to the second part here. So if you wanted to use a free website service instead of Minitab, if you don't have it installed at home, I'm going to copy this data. Copy, I right click on it, or I do Control C. And now I just need to pull up the web page. So here it is. Alright, so if I just click in this first box and then do Control V, I paste in all the data. Now it ignores the X and Y because that's not a data value, and it gives me my correlation coefficient. Remember, I only need it to 3 decimal places, so I just need these first 3. So once I have that, then I can multiply it in my Google calculator. So let me make sure I have, let me show you where I'm at. So once I have that number, I'll put that in right here, 0.009, that doesn't tell me to round. Now what I'm going to do is actually take all the decimal places when I square this, just to make sure I don't have any issues with rounding. Okay, so the next step, let me show you what we're going to type in. We are going to do 0.9902 times 0.9902 times 100. Whoops, that's a minus sign. Times 100. And that gives me 98.0. So this was a little tricky with the Minitab because the 9 rounded that to a 5, and that 5 would round that to a 1, but I can't do double rounding. So if I really look at the number I need, it's right there. 98.0, the 4 tells it not to go up. Alright, so if I go back to my page, let me minimize this. I can type in the 98.0 for the coefficient of determination. Okay, so that came out to this. Remember, don't type in the percent sign, it's already included in the question. Alright, so hopefully that helps, and it's not too complicated. But I wanted to show you 2 ways to actually calculate this, one using a free website and one using the Minitab. Alright, good luck.